Animal lovers, it's time for Rescue Radio. And now, here are your hosts, Christina Hackett and Chad Atkins.
Good morning, everybody. Your host, Chad Atkins, here at Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. We are waiting for Miss Hackett to come in.
Miss Hackett's on the line, but I'm like...
There you are. Are you sitting in the parking lot?
Yeah, I'm fooling him now, but, you know, it's always a close call.
Always. So I know you're having a crazy few weeks here with getting ready for the Fox Rescue Show that we're both going to be on. So you've been burning the candle at both ends.
Right? I mean, it's just been... Well, it's all going to be worth it. It's all for animal rescue and for their benefit and to show people, like, what awesome dogs that they can get from animal rescue, but it's definitely burning the candle at both ends, that's for sure.
I think you're walking down the stairs. I hear echoes.
Right? Or is it running?
You're funny. But today we're actually going to be discussing a very probably sensitive topic for many. It's going to be when a rescue makes the decision to end a dog's suffering. Whether that be because there's extreme medical or extreme behavioral. When do we call it quits being in rescue? Because we are, second chance, and many of us give third, fourth, fifth chances. But what we're going to be talking about today is when do we say when?
Well, I mean, I think it's an extremely difficult decision for anyone to make. And I think that you have to do what's right by the dog, and that's the whole point of what we do in animal rescue. We save them so that they can have a better life.
Yes. So
if they have something, an extreme medical or extreme behavior or neurological problem, when do we have to say this dog is suffering?
Yes.
And its quality of life. And it's an extremely tough decision for a person to make.
And you and I tend to be on one side of the fence, and there's also another side of the fence where the belief of true no-kill, where you never kill. You never euthanize for any reason. And with that, you see rescues and organizations that have animals that have been living in a cage or a small crate for 8, 9, 10 years of their life. In my opinion, and it's my opinion, and it's my organization's opinion, this is how we believe, and this is how our mission is for us, is that that's not okay.
Well, and I encourage anyone, if you have a different opinion, if you're different rescue groups out there and stuff, if they have a different opinion, I encourage them to call in.
The number here is 818-353-1276, so please call in.
Yeah, we'd be happy to hear it. And look, I mean, as a rescue, I never claim to have all the answers.
Absolutely not.
So I'm always open to other people's opinion and different suggestions and different ideas. But it's one of those topics that I know that there are rescues out there that get bashed for it. And so, but if you have a different opinion, feel free, call into the show. Let's hear it and let's discuss it.
And there's no bashing on the show for us. I mean, again, it's a difference of opinion. This is our belief. This is our belief system. Whether you think right or wrong, or we think right or wrong, there is no bashing in this.
We're open to let's have a discussion about it, because
absolutely
we can always make improvements with whatever we're doing.
Again, that number to talk about this topic today is 818-353-1276. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Always catching up.
Right? Yeah. Well, there's always so much between the two of us. There's always so many different things with different animals and what we're doing,
and we work together, so we have animals in common, and we discuss that. So we always play catch up on Saturdays.
Right. Exactly. We're like, this is our weekly meeting.
Exactly.
And to get everything caught up, and then of course Paul Works is part of this big adventure with the TV show.
Give some more details out there now that you're probably allowed to give some more.
I am, and there's been an official press release now.
Yes.
So now that there's a press release, we're able to say more, and there will be a lot more coming the week before.
Of course.
And again, it's all technicalities through Fox and what we can and can't say and what we can put out there. But it's an exciting project. It's a lot of work. But Michael Levitt Production. Michael Levitt, many of you may know him. He's a huge animal advocate. He loves the pity. He has a couple rescues himself. And so he and Hillary Swank came together to put together a show. So we had the show last year, and we're having it again this year.
And this year, who is hosting it?
We're not allowed to say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I do know. That's why I'm asking you whether can you say.
Right. Yes, I do know that you know, but or I know exactly why you know, but we're not officially allowed to put that out there yet until Fox puts it out. So a lot of it's like once Fox puts it out there in the media, then we're able to discuss it from there. But it's a really exciting program because there's going to be a number of things and a number of parts of it, and it makes animal rescue cool. It's like it puts these animals from all these different rescue groups in the United States, actually. So we have some rescue groups from other states, and so it shows you the different animals that you can get from these rescue groups and what amazing pups you can adopt.
And Fox being a primetime station, it's great because it gets into every home.
And it's right after the football game.
It's right after the football game, so it gets into every home in America that has a television. So it's great because people who aren't educated about fostering or adopting or, that these animals have worth and they can understand that they're not just these shabby, aggressive pit bulls or chihuahuas. That's all that's out there, and, that there are great chihuahuas and there are great pit bulls, and it just really educates the population.
And that's really what I think the whole point of the show is, and we're trying to show them that there are stores such as yours, such as Paw Work, where they can come into a nice, amazing, relaxing situation and meet with the dogs in a stress-free environment and just relax and enjoy the pups. It's not the sad, depressing shelter.
I know. I find it funny that I've actually had my store now, my adoption center, for a year, and people still don't realize we adopt dogs. They're like, "Are you a pet store?" I'm like, "Well, I am, but I'm an adoption center and a boutique." Because you walk in and you're like, where am I?
Well, and it's because it's so nice. I mean, you guys have just such a pleasant, the whole atmosphere when you come in there is so
But I have to say it's a double-edged sword because people see it and then they think, well, these dogs don't need it. They're well taken care of. Why do they need my help? Oh, I have 2 at home or whatever. And I get it. I get it. Some people can't have 6 at home or 7 at home like I do. No talking. No comment.
I'm like, okay, we stop at 6.
But they don't feel the same sorrow. But then the people who do get it really get it, and then they shop with us and they understand that everything that we sell in our store, whether it's a $10 bowl or a $200 bed, everything goes back to the foundation. Nothing goes into my pocket or any of the corporate, directors or anything. It all goes directly back to the foundation.
And I think that's the important part because some people don't want to go into shelters because, look, when I go into a shelter, it can be very depressing.
Well, we walk away with a lot of animals.
Yeah.
I went to East Valley this week.
I put myself on restriction. And then Friday I lifted my ban on Friday.
Uh-oh. I did see a couple pictures. I was wondering what that was all about.
Yeah, well, I lifted my ban on Friday because I was just looking for one more dog for the show, and of course the show is about animal rescue, and so we're pulling from shelters, and so.
How many did you walk away with?
Well, I didn't walk away with any because they're not spayed and neutered yet. So I have to pick them all up on Monday.
All? How many is that?
Yeah, so 10 more. But I'll be fine. We'll figure it out. But and you know what? And that was actually me refraining, because the sad part is when you go into a shelter and I'm looking at all these precious, precious babes in the shelter, and I think even if I took every single one of them out of the shelter,
it'd be filled up within a day.
It'd be full tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And so, I mean, so many people, it's like, be more responsible. Spay and neuter, please.
Yep.
Spay and neuter your pets. Because even though, I mean, moms and pups, like, they're so cute and adorable, but they're a lot of work. And, I'd rather find, 3-year-old dogs.
And one thing that I have to say about spay and neutering, because we are attempting, we have been doing spay and neuter clinics for about 6 months now. We had to stop because the clinic that we use, the mobile clinic we use, the veterinarian went on pregnancy leave. She had a baby.
Well, she decided she didn't get spayed. So,
But my one thing is, I guess they began again, and we're really wanting to get into the community. One thing I want to tell organizations is work together. Work together to make your community better. When you have organizations that want, I will give you my money to make the community better.
To help it, to make it work.
To help it. Work with me.
Right.
There are so many organizations out there that just want to work by themselves, or they think they have all the answers.
Well, I don't even know why they would do that. I mean, I know, like, AFA and PawWorks, I mean, we work a lot together. Yeah. And then I know Bark Avenue, they have the spay and neuter clinic in another part,
yes.
In LA County. And so I work a lot with Bark Avenue also. And so you guys have spay and neuter in Oxnard, which is Ventura County, like that area. And then Bark Avenue has it in others. But it's like we can all work together.
Absolutely.
So, and very often at the spay and neuter clinic, when Bark Avenue, when they get owner surrenders, which they get a lot,
yeah.
And the founder, Melanie, she's amazing, but she can't say no to anybody. So anytime they have a clinic, I'm like, oh no, my phone's ringing. They had a clinic today, didn't they? But
because what they do is they don't keep the animals.
No.
They're not that kind of rescue.
Right. No, their focus is spay and neuter and
yes.
education. And so, and I understand and I respect that, but also Melanie, I mean, she loves the animals, and so she can't say no. So then she reaches out to me, and of course,
you can't say no.
I can't say no. And so then, it's like you never know how many's incoming on that day. But the reality is, it's like if we work together,
there's so much more we could do.
Absolutely. And that's why you and I collaborate on this radio show,
yes.
because we're saying, let's get it out there. Let people understand what life in the rescue world is like.
Yes.
And then from there, what can we do? How can we change it? How can we improve things?
And just because you work together doesn't mean it takes away from your group, your mission. You can still do your mission and do things the way you do them. We have differences on how we run our organizations, but we still, when we come together, we talk about it, we work something out, and we collaborate.
We figure it out, and we do what's best for the animals,
yes.
because that's the bottom line. And when you're working together, you can do so much more for the animals and make so much more progress. And so I think that's the key with all rescue groups. So I'd encourage everyone, don't just don't stay in your bubble. Let's save more animals.
Bubble. So when we get back, we'll actually talk about what we started with was when is enough. When do we say when? Again, we would love a phone call in to discuss your difference of opinion. It's 818-353-1276. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
You experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Ships developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Ships has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Ships at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drships.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Mm-hmm. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So the topic that we posted on our Facebook page, and something that we touched about briefly earlier, is when to say when. I mean, there are some animals that are just habitually, they end up in the shelter. Yes. And so they don't know anything really but the shelter life. They don't know what it's like to be in a home and someone to care for them and love them. There's also, there's a number of different scenarios. There's also dogs that were previously used as bait dogs or fighting dogs. And those dogs, when they're no longer of use to the evil cretins that had them, end up in the shelter.
And there's also the dogs that have just never been socialized. They've been backyard dogs, and then they get dumped after so many years
There's
or months.
Hoarding cases, too. There's hoarding cases where, they were just in a backyard, and they had 90 dogs on the property, and so they never... they never had the human interaction, so they're so fearful of humans, they don't know what to do.
And then they go after dogs because they've never been socialized either. So there's a whole slew of scenarios.
And then there are some that just literally have something wrong with them. And whether it's humans that did it to them.
Or they were born that way.
Or they were born that way.
Because I have met my share of dogs that just neurologically aren't right.
Right. And it doesn't matter what breed. So I don't want anyone out there to think that I'm picking on a certain breed.
Absolutely not.
The one thing I will say is the larger breed dogs are more difficult, though, because they hurt more. Yes. When they go after you,
well, they do more damage.
Dog. They do more damage. And so no matter what the breed is. And I'll tell you, because I do volunteer at the shelter, and one of the most unpredictable, vicious dogs that I've ever seen in the shelter, and I've been doing it for many, many years now.
Guess a Shih Tzu, Chihuahua, something small.
It was a golden retriever.
Okay.
Golden retriever.
Probably totally inbred.
And it had something wrong with it.
Yes.
It had 5 bites on its bite record. Okay, it just kept, on its record. So that means that at 5 different points, it was reported that these people like went to the hospital or beyond. Like it was a severe bite.
And we're not saying that if a dog has 5 bite records that you don't investigate why, because maybe it's in pain, maybe.
Oh, and I've seen that too.
Maybe it's never been socialized. We're not saying that you just say, okay, we're looking at a report, and you don't truly do the investigation. That's not what we're saying.
No,
you do your due diligence,
and you do, and this was a situation. The golden retriever. Everyone thinks there's no way there could be something wrong with the golden retriever. And I'll tell you, I saw him. He was all happy tails, smiles, sweet as can be. I came up to him and I looked at him like, oh my goodness, like, really? I mean, when I initially just went to look at him and he was happy tails, and I actually thought, oh, like I want to cuddle with this guy. Until he snapped, lunged, went to the kennel, raging teeth, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with you. Like, sorry, not sorry. Like I can't. I'm going to stay over here, and I'll throw treats in there for you, but that's the extent. I'm not going beyond that, me personally.
Yes.
Right? Now, and other people were fighting to get this dog out of the shelter, and the original person, 5 Bites Back, that turned him into the shelter, then went on a campaign to save this dog's life. And she raised all kinds of money on Facebook for the dog, because they were going to put the dog in training.
Did she take the dog back?
And eventually she took the dog back, but we don't know what happened to it after that. So it went into, but she raised like $10,000 for the dog. But she originally, everyone lost sight of the fact, they're like,
she was the original.
She was the original person that was the original bite that turned him into the shelter. And then when it became a big hoopla on Facebook, and she started getting a lot of money for it, then she was fighting to get the dog back. So,
and we see that often. We see rescue groups or people who see a case that is out there that's getting a lot of media attention, whether it's just locally, and there are organizations out there that jump on that.
Well, there are. I mean, there are haters, but there are also people who legitimately feel like they're protecting the dogs in rescue. But the thing, and I think that's the topic, and so if anyone else has any input or things that they would like to say, I'm open to different things with this. But as a human being and as a rescue group, like, I have to look at it. And I say this, and the reason that it's come up so many times is obviously, like, I've recently personally have encountered a situation like this, where I had to say, he's suffering.
Yes.
Where are we at? Because he's violent, because there's something going on with him. So so let's pick this up again. We'll talk about it some more. But when does a rescue group, when do you say enough is enough for the dog?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what our policy is, when we get back. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science system features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitize delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191, 818-502-4191.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio at CRN Digital Talk. So again, the topic was when do we say when as a rescue group? And I know that there are some out there, and I've seen it many times, and everyone has, their opinion on it. So when do we say enough is enough? When do we say, okay, this dog is suffering? Whether it's because it's innate in dogs, like they want to please.
Yes.
It's not.
Well, they're pack animals too.
Right, and they want to be part of your pack.
Yes.
Like it's not in them to hate you and try to eat you.
And if you have a new dog that's coming into a current pack, they're just trying to find. If they're aggressive, you can tell the difference. I mean, if you've been around animals long enough, you can understand the behaviors when they're just trying to find their place in a pack. It's not that they're trying to rip the throat out of another animal, right, or they're trying to rip or a human. They're actually just trying to dominate over the next dog so that they can figure out where they are in the pack. So for us as an organization, we have a few-step process. I mean, we as directors, myself, I have say, my business partner Christina Morgan has say, we always get a vet involved, and then we take the occurrences with trainers. If we have, because usually for us, of course, there's medical times when it's time for the dog to pass.
Right.
That's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, and those are all, those are tragic, but when it's like, okay, the dog is suffering, and and I've had those, because obviously I focus on seniors, so focusing on seniors, it's like...
It's pretty clear
right,
when it's time.
When it's like, okay, I've exhausted everything, and now this pup is suffering.
And when you've done it long enough, you don't let the animal suffer.
No, because that's not what we're doing. We're a rescue.
Yeah.
So...
there's several signs. They stop eating, they stop drinking, they stop getting up, they defecate on themselves or urinate on themselves, crying. They don't want to be around you when they, 24 hours earlier, they might have wanted to be snuggled with you. So
now they're hiding, and
there's clear signs for medical. Typically, for behavioral, you have to. It's a process, and for us, we go through the trainers, and it's usually 2-3 trainers that they've been to and worked with. And then there's the vet, because you always try, maybe there are drugs out there like Xanax and Valium and acepromazine and fluoxetine, which is Prozac. So there's all these drugs that you can try to see if it changes the chemical balance in them.
And it might, and it can.
Might.
And there are those that I've seen those situations help. I've seen some just with like ADD and put them on some Prozac, and I mean the dog is great. It's no longer like trying to rip itself apart.
Exactly, and that's where we're like, okay, they're like people. You have to try a few things, but sometimes you have to incarcerate them, or we don't in America. We incarcerate for life. We don't usually do the death penalty very often. It takes years. But for us, we have humanity behind us, and we're able to see that an animal's suffering. And when you go through all those steps and nothing's helping, and they're still trying to ferociously kill somebody or kill another dog, and you can never put them anywhere other than in a crate or a cage for the rest of their life, that's when we as an organization make the decision to euthanize.
Anyone who thinks that it's an easy call for a rescue group is out of their mind. I mean, we're a rescue group. That's what we do. I mean, we spend so much time obsessing about every animal that's in our program. And I know for me, any animal that I've ever pulled from the shelter, they then become my responsibility.
Well, of course.
I mean, I've taken
There's
them
no
on.
reason to pull them then.
Right. I mean, exactly.
I'm not doing it to get that huge pat on my back, because trust me, I get it from some people, but other people I don't get it from. And sometimes those are the people you want to say, you know what, thank you.
Right.
And we don't get it from it, so we don't do it for that.
It's usually the people, the organizations that you're helping the most that forget to say thank you. But no, none of us are. I don't think, even those in rescue that are in it for the look what I did.
Yes.
They're not necessarily going to take that dog that's a problem child. And so now there's two different sides to this. Now I've seen it both ways. And the first way is the most common, where their behavior in the shelter isn't the best.
Yes.
Their kennel behavior isn't the best, but once you get them in a yard, they're great. You get them with other dogs, you get them playing, you get them exercise, and you see them make a change once they come into your rescue, and you see them being a dog again.
Well, of course,
and you find them a home that works for them.
Kennels are stressful.
Right. But then I've also seen it very few times, but I have seen it a few times, and one has been more recently, where they were perfect in their kennel because that's probably the environment they were in their whole life. And then once they got out and they decompressed and they relaxed, and their personality started coming out due to whatever trauma or mental problems they might have, takes them the exact opposite way, where they, had an A on their temp test, and then, 3 weeks later, you're going, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the same dog. Where did Cujo come from here? Like, what happened? Why is this dog trying to rip me apart now?
And when you put this dog back in the isolation, where it's in a kennel, it calms down.
Right. And then, but you can't, the point of a rescue is to adopt dogs out.
Yes.
And
give them a home.
Give them a home. Give them a second chance. So if you're dealing with a situation where they're going to be isolated and they're going to be in a kennel, and you're going to have them on drugs to try to calm them down, or literally you feel like they're a danger to themselves, like to others, to other dogs or other kids, or people that are working for your organization. When you feel that they're dangerous to that level, like, when do you make the call? And it's not an easy one.
No.
So anyone who thinks that, oh yeah, that person, because if we're in rescue, we're in it, we're doing it. Some people do it for their own little hoo-lahs, but they still, putting a dog to sleep does not help their hula. It doesn't help their, rah-rahs for themselves either. So, it's really a matter of when do you say that? When do you say...
So then you're going to have the devil's advocate kid, because I know, if anybody's listening and they're thinking, well, if the dog is happy and it's not hurting anybody in its cage or crate or kennel...
And there are some that definitely believe that.
Then why not just leave it there? It seems happy.
Right. And I do know a shelter that does that.
Yes.
And they've had people in kennels for years.
Yes.
Years. And dogs like, say, a Pitty, they need human interaction. They need that socialization. And
they're either a bully breed or a terrier breed. They have one of the two in them, and both need stimulation.
Yeah, they need stimulation and they need human interaction. So when they're in a kennel for 5 years, how are they going to do in a home after that?
Well, they won't. They'll never be.
I mean...
On that thought, we're going to go to commercial break. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanasin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanasin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and the staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Talking shop.
Right? It's like we get a commercial and we're like, okay, let's cram all this conversation into it. That's our main time. So back to what we were discussing, and I don't want to harp on this too much, but I think just because of my own personal experience recently, that it made me call into question a bunch of things. And then it's like, well, when have I done as much as possible for this dog? When did I, it's like, what more can I do?
Well, for me, too, as someone in rescue, it's heart-wrenching to make that decision. I mean...
Especially when they look healthy.
Yes.
They're not, but they look healthy to you.
Or not only that, again, we are not in this to euthanize dogs.
No.
I mean...
No one ever wants to do it. I don't want to do it with my seniors that are 20 years old.
Exactly. And anybody that says I do or you do, it's absolutely ridiculous, because both of us kill ourselves to make our rescues survive.
Oh yeah,
every day.
It's crazy our schedules.
So whatever reason we do this, I'm not doing it for the big glory, the pat on the back. Yes, I get some gratification out of everything I do, and so do you.
Right.
It touches something deep down inside of us that makes us continue going. But it's just like a doctor or a lawyer. There's a reason you do everything.
Right.
But I don't do it to go and kill a dog. It
no,
doesn't. It makes no
and it's
sense.
Heartbreaking. It's devastating. Let's see. We have Linda from Washington State on the line. Linda, welcome to the conversation.
Welcome, Linda.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So I'm sure you were listening. We're talking about the heart-wrenching decision. When is enough? When do you say you're in the best interest of the dog? Like the dog at this point is suffering. When do you let go? What's your take on the subject?
Well, it is a very difficult decision, and not being a rescue myself, although I've rescued, older dogs, and I have been in that position to make that decision, I think you're absolutely correct. I think at some point, it's not living a dog's life. They need to be happy, and they need to be in a family, and if they're not able to do that and be a danger to other dogs or people, it's not fair to them, as well as the people.
Right, and it is different. It is different for a rescue than an individual person, because as an individual person, I might be able to say, "Look, I can do this. I can keep him in a kennel. When I go to take him out, I can muzzle him. I can keep him on medication. I can give him this kind of space and make sure he's enclosed so he's not a danger to other people and other dogs." As an individual, you can do that. But as a rescue, as a responsible rescue, you have to look at it and say, like, as a whole, what am I looking at here?
The liability you have to place a dog in a dog.
Well, we have a right to the public to not put that animal out there for us. And in addition, it's not my policy to have an animal living in a crate with me for
I couldn't do it.
a long-term amount of time. For me, that's just not the way. That's not why I started this.
Well, and that's not. I think that, in my opinion, I think that's mean. I mean, if I say it,
the way a dog should live, and that's not living a dog. Dogs need to live like dogs, and that's not living like a dog.
Right. If I say I'm keeping you in this crate and I'm scared of you. Because I've
pick up on that.
Yeah, especially if I've seen the dog bite. I've seen it bite other dogs. I've seen it bite other humans. I've seen this happen. So then, at what point do I say, okay, like, you're sitting there, you're looking at me, you're running around playing with me for like 2 hours. Everything is great, and then suddenly you come over and you decide, oh, we're friends. I'm going to bite you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it can happen.
And there's some, obviously, either they were severely abused or mentally or genetically or something. Again, I look at it all as being a human fail to that dog.
Well, and you're absolutely right. However that dog ended up in the shelter, humans failed him somewhere along the line. Even if it was overbreeding.
Well, because if he was surrendered for that reason, then they should have done the right thing and euthanized him themselves. I mean, every shelter, at least in California, you can get reduced euthanization rates.
And there are some vets that'll do it if it's humanely euthanized. Yes. It's better than at the shelter, because the shelter, they just poke them and they're gone. The dog should be allowed to be with you.
Yes.
And I feel the same way about seniors. So, I hate it when people take a senior and dump it in the shelter, so it's got to go through that whole scary experience before inevitably the shelter has to make the call and put the dog.
I do have to make a comment about what you just said about the shelter, how they get euthanized. I can actually attest, at least in Ventura County, if it's a dog that's being relinquished to the county, and the person wants the euthanization, and they are red tagged, and the vet says, yes, we agree with you, this is the right thing to do, they will actually allow the family to be with the dog until it passes.
Oh, well, that's something different that I haven't heard of.
It's
before.
Actually very rare in a in a county or city shelter that happens. But that is one thing that I actually have to commend Ventura County for doing. You can actually be with your animal if it does get
well, and that is something to do as a senior. But I think the dog, if dogs want to love you,
yes,
they want to love you. So if they're attacking you, then humans failed them generally somewhere along the line. Because they're reading, they're trying to love you.
Yeah.
Biting you is their way of loving you.
They just don't know how to do it right.
Well, Linda, hold on with us. We got to take a commercial break. We'll talk to you right after that. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the Tort Attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science system features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitize delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk, and we have Linda on the line. And Linda, we have just a few more minutes here, but basically, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the biggest question out there is when to say when. When do we decide that for the dog, for the well-being of the dog, when do we end his suffering?
Well, I think you do what all you have to do to reach the point of assessment to where there's just nothing you can and be safe for the public and to be able to adopt that dog out. You know, I've saved 6 pitties in 30 years, and we've had one that had, she was 10 years old when she came to me. I got an urgent plea by somebody, and she was labeled a dangerous dog, and we had her 4 years. And then we were able to, correct a lot of her behavior. But if she would have went to a shelter, they would have just put her down, And,
right, and it is different. I mean, like I talked about earlier in the show, when you have them privately in your home, and I mean, I think it's great that you've rescued that many pitties. When you have them privately in your home, you're able to do things that a rescue group or shelter simply cannot do.
Well, yeah, of course, because your focus is your animals. It's not 20, 30.
Talking about that thing too is you don't know what's in this dog's background after 10 years either. So it's hard to even assess and do the right behavior changes. And that was real difficult. She was difficult. But, she shakes like a leaf, and she had like little seizures if you sat next to her. She was just severely abused. Yeah. But we were able to counteract that and give enough exercise and stimulation, and she turned out to be a great dog.
I mean,
that's a loner.
Right, but that's amazing that you were able to do that. And the thing that's different there too is she wasn't viciously attacking you.
No.
So
that would be, I think, a a different point for me, and if that would have happened. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the line. I think that's where the line would be drawn for me.
Is when they cross over and they start attacking humans,
and not in the
or they
frenzy.
can't tell the difference when
Yeah.
they're attacking a dog, and they can't.
It's different when they're in the red zone if they're going after someone else and they accidentally transfer to you. I mean, that's different, of course, but not
just out of the blue, adamantly going after you. Well,
So I
thank
guess
you.
That would be my line.
Well, thank you very much, Linda. We appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, Linda.
And again, so this week, I just so many different thoughts went through my head in one time.
I saw that. I have a final thought on this, and it is I think people have to realize that every rescue has different resources, and as long as you extend every resource out that you can, and then if you have a limit and you ask for help, and then you don't get it, you have to do what's right by the animal in your care.
Right. I mean, you're responsible for them.
You're responsible for it.
And I really think, for me, I have to say, and I've said this many times before, I commend the people who took care of Michael Vick's dogs, because I'm thinking, I would never know. I wouldn't be able to do that personally because they were trained to fight or trained to be abused, and so
you don't have the resources.
Right.
And if you ask for help from people, which we all do,
right.
We ask for help from our community, from other rescues, from anybody, and if you don't get it, what are you supposed to do?
Well, and also, it goes beyond that, because once they start crossing over and they start going after humans, then you're potentially putting another human.
So give all the numbers, information. We got to
so,
wrap it up.
Okay,
we have about 30
AFA,
seconds.
so Animal Foundation of America, like us on Facebook. We've also got Rescue Radio, obviously.
We have PawWorks.
So on Facebook and pawworks.org.
And then we're both doing the Fox.
We're both doing the Fox All-Star Rescue Dogs Celebration.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah, it's changed a few times, but I think that's our official title now. So we're both doing that. We're putting things together. So, and it's all about rescue animals, and that's what we're both in it for. We want to save as many and give them quality of life and happy homes and happy families. So that's what we do it for.
Absolutely. So you're listening to Rescue Radio. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you next week on CRN Digital Talk.
Because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN high-definition sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra. Brits are returning home from Sharm el-Sheikh after they were stranded for a brief time when London halted flights following the crash last week of a Russian passenger jet.
We've now got a very good system in very close coordination with the airlines and with the Egyptian authorities here in Sharm. We've established a good system, and that's what's allowed us to get around 1,500 people home safely. I think it gives us a good basis to keep moving forward and to get everyone home as quickly as possible.
That's Ambassador John Casson. While Russia still hasn't said it thinks or what it thinks caused the crash, British and U.S. intelligence say all indications point to a bomb. Meanwhile, the International Investigation Team says a noise can be heard on the last second of the cockpit voice recording, but what caused that noise is not clear. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell offered an almost immediate reaction to the president's announcement on Keystone, Correspondent Linda Kenyon has that story.
The president's announcement that he is rejecting the Keystone XL pipeline project does not sit well with the top Senate Republican. He released a statement that reads, "Given this project's importance to North American energy independence, the question still remains not if, but when Keystone will be built." And Senator McConnell added, Republicans have no intention of giving up on common-sense jobs ideas like Keystone.
In his announcement, President Obama said Keystone does not offer any long-term impact when it comes to jobs and said it would not serve the national interest and would not lower gas prices, which have already gone down without Keystone. A historic meeting Saturday between Taiwanese President Ma Ying-jeou and Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Considering how far apart the mainland and Taiwan were just a few years ago, the thought of the presidents of both sides shaking hands was really not even something people considered a possibility.
Correspondent Mike Rubin reports from Bangkok. More on these stories at townhall.com.
More than 70 million Americans have a hard time falling asleep. Are you one of them? A lack of sleep can hurt your mental performance. It can affect your mood. It can even make it harder to manage your weight. Don't let occasional sleepless nights ruin your days. Try Somnipure, a safe premium formula that delivers better sleep than you thought possible. Today, listeners of this station can try a free bottle of Somnipure. Pay only shipping and handling. For details, call 1-800-937-9195. Somnipure has key ingredients clinically shown to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed without grogginess. Somnipure is the only sleep aid with this specific blend of ingredients. Listeners of this station can try a free bottle, but don't wait. This free offer won't last forever. Call 1-800-937-9195. 1-800-937-9195. 1-800-937-9195.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports the Supreme Court's agreed to hear the religious objections to Obamacare's contraception mandate.
For the fourth time in 5 years, the nation's high court is taking a case involving the president's controversial health care law. The latest case involves objections by faith-based hospitals, colleges, and charities to the birth control mandate. These groups are not required to pay for contraception, but they say they're being forced to participate in a process that violates their religious beliefs. The case will be argued in late March. Greg Clugston, the White House.
UAW has reached a tentative contract agreement with Ford on Friday. This is the same day that General Motors workers voted in favor of a similar four-year deal. But official ratification of the GM Pact was delayed because although it was approved overall, skilled trade workers such as electricians and pipe fitters rejected the deal. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra. Another veteran congressman is quitting.
20 years in Washington is enough for Joe Pitts. The 76-year-old Pennsylvania Republican announced he'll not seek re-election when his current term ends in 2017. Pitts was recently appointed to the Select Committee investigating Planned Parenthood. While not giving a specific reason for leaving, Pitts said he arrived at his decision after prayerful consideration.
Correspondent Wally Hines. A second day off the job for cabin and crew at Lufthansa hubs in Frankfurt and Dusseldorf, Germany. The strikes are forcing the German airline to cancel some 520 short and medium-haul flights. The union wants to secure transition payments for its 19,000 members if they retire early as part of a contract dispute with the airline, which is at the present time trying to cut costs. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra.
CRN travelers relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and Internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingrovinn.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Join me live and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. This month, Quantum Digest is on special. It's the most purified U.S. peat plant enzymes. No matter what you eat, it has the power to support its digestion. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447.
Listen to Healthline daily at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on CRN.
CRN, don't miss it.